So far we've been using slope-intercept form. That's the y equals mx plus b. Now we're going to start using another form. It's called point-slope form. So it's y minus the y value of a point equals the slope times the difference of x and the x value of the same point. So x sub 1 and y sub 1 have to be from the same point, okay? You would use this if it's not very easy to find your y-intercept, okay? So let's look at some examples. So it says write an equation in point-slope form of the line containing the point 3, negative 4, and a slope of 5. So I always like to start by writing down the rule, the format. So it's y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Okay, so we need a number m for y sub 1, for m, and for x sub 1. So all those yellow letters before should have a number in them. So if we look back at our problem, y sub 1 will be the y coordinate of a point. Well, that's going to be my negative 4. So I can put y minus a negative 4 will equal the slope, which they tell us the slope is 5, times x minus the x value of the same point. So I have to use 3. Okay? So we just substituted in our point, put in our slope. Now, we can simplify this just a little bit. Y minus a negative number is the same as y plus a positive. Okay? Add the opposite. So we could rewrite that as y plus 4 equals 5 times the difference of x and 3. Right? Now, let's go a little bit harder. So here it says write an equation in point-slope form of the line containing the points negative 2, negative 3, and 1, 4. Well, we have 2 points. With point-slope 4, we need a point in the slope. So we need to find the slope. So, looking at my points, that remember slope, we take the difference of the y's over the difference of the x's. So I'm going to take this point, flip it, so negative 3 over negative 2, minus, minus, take 1, 4, flip it, 4 over 1. Negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. Now, I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to leave it in improper fraction just for a minute, but a negative over a negative will simplify to a positive and a positive. Negative divided by negative gives you a positive. So I'm going to rewrite that as 7/3. Now, for our point-slope form, we need to use a point in the slope. We found the slope, and then we need to use one of the points. It doesn't matter which point you use, okay? Just choose one of them. So if I choose to use negative 2, negative 3, that my equation will be y minus the y value of the point, which is negative 3. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that as plus 3 because it would be minus a negative, equals our slope, which was 7/3, times x minus the x value of the same point. I had used negative 3, so I have to use negative 2. Again, I'm going to rewrite that as x plus 2. Okay? Now, I could also have chosen 1, 4. You do not have to do both. Okay, just choose one of the points. But either one of these would be correct. So this one would be y minus 4 equals 7/3 times x minus 1. Okay? 1, 4 was a point. Negative 2, negative 3 was my other point. So either one of these would be correct. Alright, going just a little bit harder. Now we want an equation in slope-intercept form, okay, for the line containing 2 points. Neither one of these is my y-intercept. So what we can do is use these to get it in point-slope form, then manipulate that to get slope-intercept form. Okay, so if you haven't been doing this, I want you to just watch me, then come back and work it out with me, okay? So we're going to start by, I'm going to write out y minus y sub 1 equals m, this equals, times x minus x sub 1, okay? I need to find my slope. So that's my first step. So I'm going to use negative 1 over negative 2 minus minus 4 over 4. So negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. Well, again, negative over a negative will simplify to a positive. So 5/6 is my slope. Now, I need to choose one of these points. Either one would work, okay? I'm going to use 4, 4. So that way it doesn't matter which one's x and y. So we have y minus 4 equals 5/6 x minus 4. So here's my point slope form. Now I need to get it in the y equals mx plus b form. Okay? So I need to get rid of the parentheses and I need to get rid of this over here. First thing we're going to do is get rid of the parentheses by using our distributive property. So you're going to take that 5/6 and multiply by everything inside the parentheses. So that will give us, let me change this, y minus 4 would equal 5/6x minus 5/6 times 4 would be 20 over 6, which is 3 1/3. I'm going to leave that as 10/3. Okay? Actually, it may be easier to put it in the, it was 3 1/3. Okay? I'm going to write it as a mixed number. So this was just our distributive property. Take the 5/6, multiply by each term inside the parentheses. Okay? Now, the next thing we need to do is get rid of this number. Well, it is being subtracted over here. So I want to add 4 to both sides in order to get rid of it. So this is just going back to solving an equation. Okay? That it was being subtracted, we need to add it because subtracting 4, then adding 4 cancel each other out. So now I'm left with my y on my left. Well, this is my only x term over here. So 5/6x is going to stay the same. Okay? So now I'm looking at minus 3 1/3 plus 4. So if you want, since we have a subtraction and an addition, plus a negative, okay? So we're adding a negative 3 1/3 and then adding a 4. Well, if I take those and add them, negative 3 1/3 plus 4. Okay, they're both being added, so combine them. That gives me 2/3. So that means my y-intercept is 2/3. So this and this will all give you the same line through these 2 points. Okay? So you're just going to put it in point slope form. Find your slope, use one of the points, either one, it doesn't matter. Then you'll have to manipulate your equation. Use the distributive property to get rid of the parentheses, then get rid of what's being added or subtracted from your y.